You're listening to Candidate Conversations on the WIDU Radio Network. I'm your host, Jay Reinstein. And today I have with me Commissioner Marshall Faircloth running for County Commissioner again at large. Welcome to Candidate Conversations, Commissioner.
Thank you so much, Jay. It's my pleasure to be here.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. I wanted to find out, what do you see as maybe the single biggest challenge facing the county right now? And is there a specific role the county commission should play in addressing it?
Jay, the most difficult thing we're facing is clean drinking water for people in parts of the county that do not have municipal water. It's a long, hard climb. It's been talked about for many, many years. There was even an effort to bring it about 15 years ago to the Grays Creek area, and
Right.
the people of the area turned it down. They didn't want anything to do with PWC or Fayetteville, and that was basically what they told us. And so we put it on the back burner for a while, and then along comes Gen X and PFAS and those things, and
Right.
And suddenly it was at the forefront again. So here we are, trying not to overspend and not to move too fast, but to move in a way that will bring about something that will be a permanent solution if we can possibly do that. It's going to cost a lot of money, but that's the goal.
That is the top priority. So one of the things that's important is maybe looking at growth and development for the county. Cumberland County is changing, and it's growing in certain areas. How do we balance, I guess, the economic development with protecting neighborhoods, infrastructure, and actually the quality of life? Is there a balance?
There is a balance. To balance economic development with neighborhood development, you have to make sure that there's a line drawn between the actual physical boundaries. But if there's no economic development, then there's not new jobs coming along and opportunities for people, particularly our kids and grandkids that we would like to stay in the community. We've got to be able to have them look at the future and see something here for them.
Are there any new big, no, maybe you can't announce it here, but anything in the pipeline that's exciting, any economic development projects that you could talk about that are either in process or hoping to happen down the road a little bit?
There are several, and there's nothing at this point that I can talk about, but I know what's on a lot of people's mind would be data centers. There are data centers looking for places to set up shop all over the country. So there's never going to be any shortage of those for a long, long time. But I, for one, probably at this point, I would have to say that I will not vote for a data center because there are too many unanswered questions. As a matter of fact, next Thursday, we are going to have an agenda session wherein we will talk about the economics of the data center and why or why not it's good or bad for the county. And I've been doing a lot of research on my own, and I know that the big companies, the Googles and the Amazons and the people like that, Microsofts that are going to be in the big data business, they're using brokers and people of that nature. So right now we're seeing brokers and we're hearing from brokers.
Yeah.
But they can't really pin down anything that the big boys don't tell them they can do. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't want to sell any prime development property to a broker that's
Right.
just going to resell it. So
Yeah.
if somebody with a big name comes with a proposal, we'll have to look at it
Right.
and make sure that the electricity's there, the water is there, the natural gas is there, and the things that they need if we're going to do that. And the environment will be a tremendous concern to county commissioners. And I don't see a need to give them incentives.
Right, right.
They're going to go where they go, with or without incentives. So why give them back taxes? If they come here and pay taxes, that's fine. I don't want to give it back to them.
Got it. I've been reading over the last few years. They've become very controversial in certain communities.
Absolutely.
So interesting. Let's talk about taxes a little bit. How do you decide, or how does the commission decide to raise taxes? And also, the second part of that question is, and what services must be protected no matter what? How do you decide where to cut spending, and what services do you have to protect?
Okay, if you look at, if you take a sheet of paper and list on it line by line all the things that a county is required to do by the state of North Carolina,
Right.
you will have a full page and then half of another page. If you look at the same list for the city, they've only got one thing, and that's code enforcement. So
Right.
cities can do a lot of things. They only must do one thing.
Yeah.
Counties must do everything the state tells them to do.
Got it.
And I always say, if the folks in Raleigh could run everything from Raleigh, there'd be no need for a county, because basically the county is in the business to provide state services.
Right.
So
right.
as far as
That's a good way to put it, Commissioner.
that's what we do.
Yeah, yeah.
And we have some discretion over local tax money, and that's where we get the money to look at things like homeless shelters, extra money for teacher supplements, things of that nature, and that's where we try to guard that money the best we can, because we do have discretion over that. But the things we must do are just must do's, and
Got
you
it.
don't cut them. You hope you have the money to do them, and the state has to provide it.
And I think I read not too long ago that there were some nice raises maybe for the teachers. There were some bonuses or whatever it may be. That's a good sign, because what we constantly hear in North Carolina, the teachers aren't paid well. And it sounded like the commissioners did a good thing there by making sure that they recognized that and gave teachers some more money. Am I correct on that?
You are correct. The other part of the equation was the state actually raised some teacher salaries, and they have continued to do that. They've lagged in other areas, I believe, but there has been a time in recent years where Cumberland County has fallen behind in the total teacher pay when you count supplements, because the state has provided some of the lower wealth counties. Even though we're a low wealth county, we have a lot of people, and we can raise some money, but they have allowed these other education systems in other counties to have higher teacher supplements than we do, and it's caused a drain. It's a brain drain. They have been able to come across the county lines and take our teachers away.
Yeah.
And we fixed that this year.
That's
good.
good.
In this budget, we are now the top county as far as overall teacher pay, and we plan to try to stay that way.
That's great. Again, we're talking to Commissioner Marshall Faircloth, running for an at-large seat again as a county commissioner. I think you were telling me this would be how many terms for you?
Well, I'm in number 5, and I'll be headed for a 6th.
Number 6. Wow. That's a lot of years. Let's switch gears here a little bit. Let's talk about public safety, which includes law enforcement, emergency services, and community trust. What does the county commission do well here, and where do you think you might need to improve?
The sheriff's budget is under the county commissioner's control.
Yeah.
The sheriff is an elected official, and we don't control how he spends the money, but the overall spending is in the purview of the Cumberland County Commissioners. And I think we've done a good job. I'm on my 4th sheriff, I think, now. So
You started with who? Was it Moose Butler?
I started with Morris Bedsoe.
Oh, wow.
I did.
Okay.
And then Moose, and then Ennis, yeah.
Ennis,
and,
yeah.
And now Mr. Sheriff Morgan. But in any case, I don't remember a reasonable request that's ever come before a commissioner's board that I sat on that we didn't either fund or try to find a way to begin to fund. And we take their job seriously, and if it's public safety, that's one of our priorities.
An area you think you can improve upon in that area?
Improve upon what the sheriff does. Well, that's up to sheriff. We'll fund what the sheriff needs, and we've even had some requests from the new sheriff so far, and I think he's doing a great job, and I'm hoping that we'll be able to take care of his needs going forward. But other public safety, fire protection in the areas of the county that do not have a professional fire service, they have volunteers.
Right.
And more and more, when I was first a county commissioner, and that's several years ago, there were more volunteers than anything else. They have gotten toward more and more paid people.
Got it.
And that's something we're going to see more of in the future. There'll come a time when the volunteer system will probably be just old news, and you won't even hear about volunteer fire departments. They'll all be paid, and that's got to be funded. As a matter of fact, you mentioned taxes a while ago. We cut the taxes substantially in Cumberland County. The property values went up. That's not under the control of county commissioners.
Right.
And we've had discussions about that at this very table before. But we did cut that rate from 79 cents down to 49.9 cents, a 30-cent cut. And
That's huge.
We cut almost 6 cents below revenue neutral, and I think the city of Fayetteville cut like 5 cents above revenue neutral. So there's a big difference there. And for the first time, I'm paying more in city taxes than I am in county taxes. First time in my adult career. But the fire tax did not go down. I lobbied for a 3-cent cut in the fire tax, and my colleagues convinced me that let's don't cut back on the fire tax because we're going to have to move toward non-volunteer in the future, and we may as well get ready for it and build up some funds to do it. So I went along with it, and unanimous vote. We kept the fire tax at 15 cents.
Interesting. We're going to talk here a little bit about education, workforce. A lot of misconceptions about, I think, average people when it comes to who pays the teachers, where does the money come from. Well, the county you don't run the schools day to day, but you do fund them.
We fund them to an extent. They're mainly funded by the state of North Carolina.
Right.
And
is there a supplement that you're providing to the?
The supplement's $103 million. Okay?
Got it.
And I've always said, and I know commissioners come and go, and they have their own opinions and their own ideas, and some want to try to tell the school system how to how to spend their money. I believe that commissioners should fund the school systems, and they don't allow us to tell them how to run and how to spend the money. But the local money, if you're in a county that's quite well-to-do and can afford it, you can have a better school system because the supplements can be higher. And just what I was talking about a while ago, the state had come around some of the counties around us, Hoke, Bladen, and a few of those others, and their supplements were higher than ours. And we decided to remedy that this year, and we did that out of our local budget. And so there is quite a bit of money coming out of the local budget. We gave the school system $300 million to get some progress on the tremendous amount of deferred maintenance, they call it.
Right.
They gave us a number of $800 million of stuff they needed to do to maintain their system.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that made everybody crazy when they heard that number. But I heard a number 30 years ago that was over $200 million then, and probably that $200 million would probably spend as well as the $800 will now. But so that's an ongoing thing. But we have funded that this year.
Do you have a responsibility as county commissioners, or what is your responsibility to the students and the teachers? Have you thought about that as a commission? Where are you responsible?
Well, other than the local money that we provide, our biggest responsibility, a responsibility that the Board of Education does not have, for instance, would be building and grounds. So it's up to county commissions across the state. There are 100 counties. All 100 of them have school systems. In fact, there are more than 100 school systems because there's some city school systems also. But the counties provide the facilities and the maintenance of the facilities. So that's what we have to do with the schools if we didn't do anything else. Fortunately, in Cumberland County, we're able to provide substantial money, and this year, really good local supplements for teachers so that we can attract the best. And we have to be the best in our region. We have to be the top payor in the region to attract those that we need to teach our kids.
Right.
Excuse me, I'm gonna grab a bottle of water here.
a lot of citizens. We're almost done here. I mean, it's gone very well. We're just chatting, learning more about what Commissioner Marshall Faircloth is going to do as a commissioner if reelected. A lot of voters feel disconnected. How do you and your team of commissioners, how do you get people to be more engaged, more transparency? What tools are you using to get folks feeling like they're connected?
You know, Cumberland County is unique. We have such a transient population. I know that word is so overused, but it's just hard to get plugged in unless you're a permanent resident or you got some real time and tenure around here. But I think our public information office at the county that we have now is doing a tremendous job. They're out everywhere. If a commissioner is called on, as we are to do, to speak here or there, particularly the chairman and vice chairman, the PIO office is there with them taping, and they put it on their website. The best way we can communicate with our constituents and our residents is through our website. And there's a tremendous amount of anything you need to know about the county, you can find out there for the most part. But other than that, listen to the local media. Printed and voice, and there's so much. If you tune in here, and it's been Wake Up for what, about the last 15 years. If you tune in to Wake Up, you'll learn a lot.
Right.
You'll learn some things you didn't know you wanted to know. But we do a tremendous job, and I just want to plug Wes and Sandy for a moment. I've known these guys for a long time, and they've known me. But particularly. If you want to know something, if you can't get it from the website, there are phone numbers to call, there's email and so forth. And just remember one thing, the county commissioners, that board is not like a city council. We're not the city council of the county. We are here to provide state services. Right. That's what we do. Yeah. And most people don't understand that, but if they could do it from Raleigh, it would not be a county.
Right. So finally, why should residents vote for Marshall Faircloth, Commissioner Marshall Faircloth, for a fifth term? Sixth term. As an at-large member at the Democratic primary March 3rd. Why should folks vote for you?
I think that I bring something to the table that nobody else in my memory has brought. I am a certified public accountant. I have more than 2 decades of accounting and auditing experience at the local government level. So I understand the finances, and it's difficult. If you look at their financial statements, it's thicker than this mic thing I'm looking at right here. Yep. And so there's quite a bit of information, and the people who actually run the county get paid a living wage to know more what's going on for 8 hours a day than I do. But at least when it comes to financial matters, I think that I have a pretty good handle on where it comes from and where it goes. And I think a board needs that, because your professionals can stand up and talk, and you can watch some. If you look at them on TV, you'll see their eyes glaze over, and they'll look at their watch because it gets into the weeds. Oh yeah. So I'm a pretty good weed guy. I do it all day long. I've been doing it for many years. Right.
Well, listen, thank you so much again. We've been chatting with Commissioner Marshall Faircloth, running for an at-large county commissioner, his 6th term if he gets in. The Democratic primary, March 3rd. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity, and look forward to another chance.
Great. And you've been listening to Candidate Conversations on the WIDU Radio Network. Until next time.